Greg Norman owns a Ferrari worth $2.5 million. And this is just one of his cars that most people can only dream of buying. Here is how he spends the rest of his $400 million net worth. His car collection is a shrine to automotive history. The Ferrari Dino with wide-body flares. This 1960s beauty practically screams classic with every curve. The Ferrari 275 GTB4 Cam? That's a rare gem from the 1960s, prized by collectors for its timeless beauty. As for the Ferrari Daytonas, two of them, these iconic V12 sports cars, were built to dominate the track, with some models fetching around $500,000 to $1 million today. Now, Greg's not all about fancy Ferrari flair. He's got Chevy Tahoes and Suburbans in there too. These American muscle SUVs are perfect for dominating the roads while still looking cool. His collection is an investment in automotive culture, with some of these cars only increasing in value over time. But can you blame him? He was stitched to screen-watching races like the Bathurst 500 and idolizing drivers like Alan Jones when young. You could say his parents probably thought they signed up for a future Formula One driver, not a golf legend. He started with the Holden Tirana SS, back when fast meant 0 to 60 in about a minute and a half. But even then, it cost around $5,000, which probably felt like a fortune. I bet he was probably out there trying to keep his cool on the green, thinking, I could have made this thing go way faster. Honestly, with cars worth $4.68 million, Greg's garage might need its own zip code. I bet his favorite current game must be to wake up every morning and go eeny, meeny, miny, vroom. Because it doesn't stop there if we're talking about Greg. His passion for aviation is no secret. Over the years, he's owned 7 private jets, including the Lockheed Jetstar, Gulfstream Bearer, and Gulfstream G550. In 1997, he even signed up for a $30.5 million Boeing business jet, BBJ, because who wouldn't want a jet that costs more than the average person's house? One of his jets, the Bombardier Global 6000, perfectly matched his high-flying lifestyle, long-range capabilities, sleek design, and probably a price tag that made us all reconsider that vacation savings fund. His private business jet, N1GN, was customized by the Norman Design Group because clearly the plane needs its royalty as well. And just when you thought Greg had reached his limit, in 2019, he partners with Delta Private Jets. I mean, honestly, when was the last time you thought, I think I'll just rent out a jet today, no big deal? While he doesn't own jets now, don't picture him waiting in a crowded airport terminal with you. Greg charters private planes like it's the most normal thing in the world. After all, who wants to deal with the whole checking in, waiting in line, and praying your luggage shows up routine when you can skip the chaos and board a plane that's probably worth more than your entire neighborhood? You get the idea now. Greg is everywhere. But wait, you probably left out water. The guy was into scuba diving and surfing. How could he leave his love for the ocean? Over the years, Greg Norman's owned at least 3 stunning yachts, because one yacht is never enough, right? First, there was the Ocean Fast, sleek and luxurious, setting the stage for Greg's life on the water. It was the kind of yacht that said, I don't just vacation, I make an entrance. Then came the Aussie Rules, a 228-foot super yacht. And it wasn't taking space for stretching. I am talking about a gym, a cinema, a lobster tank, and enough jet skis to open a water sports business. Greg probably had to rent out space on the boat for all the jet skis. But did Greg stop there? Of course not. In 2004, he sold Aussie Rules, because owning a yacht larger than most cities' downtown areas clearly wasn't enough of a flex. Enter his latest boat, the Big Blue. It's a bit smaller than the previous one, but still packed with luxury you could only dream of, like a floating mansion that you can park anywhere. The man's out here cruising on yachts, flying helicopters and scuba diving, like he's in an action movie. His social media is basically a travel brochure, horseback riding on his Colorado ranch one day, sipping wine in Venice the next, and casually jetting off in his private plane. Guess some people really do live the dream. And for the rest of us, there's always the bus. So Greg Norman's been living large for years, but it seems like he's finally decided to switch things up a bit. After living 3 decades on his 8.3-acre estate in Florida, he and his wife Kiki moved into a new place. But don't get confused. Downsize doesn't exactly fit here. His new home in Palm Beach cost a cool $12.2 million, but the guy still has the audacity to call it small. All right, I get it. The place is smaller than his previous 32,000 square foot compound, but come on. You call that small? It still covers over 11,800 square feet and sits on 2 acres of land. I mean, when you're Greg Norman, why go small, right? And the interior of the house? Oh, it's basically a luxury overload. 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, because you never know when you're going to need a backup when nature calls. And the views? A golf course and a lake. At this point, I actually want him to adopt me, because that's not all. Not yet. There's an oversized pool, a swim-up bar, cabanas, just the essentials for when he's throwing poolside parties for no reason at all. Tennis court? Check. Theater room? Obviously. Private guest house? Of course, see, because your in-laws just deserve to be that far away. Oh, and the kitchen. It's gourmet, because why wouldn't you need a 5-star restaurant right in your house? And don't even get me started on the cozy office with wood finishes and a fireplace, because nothing says hard work like cracking open the laptop next to a roaring fire. Now this is where I was sad at first. He sold his old place for a jaw-dropping $55.1 million. And not to be outdone, he also sold his Colorado ranch for $40 million. Seriously, what's next? A floating mansion? A house made entirely of gold? Who knows, but right now he's living large in Palm Beach in this new mansion. Pretty sweet, huh? The sweetness does not stop there. I still have his watch collection to flex. 'Cause it's basically the Rolex of watch collections. His first piece? The Eagle. The very same watch he endorsed and was the first modern golfer to wear on the course. It wasn't exactly cheap back in the day, costing around $3,000, which for Greg is just pocket change. Then there's the Rolex GMT Master, which he picked up directly from the Rolex store. For those I'm here for my luxury moments. Perfectly sized and weighted for both on and off the course. But wait, there's more. The Rolex Submariner. Worn during Greg's deep-sea adventures. This one? It'll set you back about $8,000 to $10,000. Yeah, that's right, folks. Deep-sea diving and looking that good don't come cheap. Greg's friends really know how to pick out birthday gifts, huh? But wait, did you think that was all? No, he got gifted the Omega Aquaterra from his team after the 2011 President's Cup. This one's a little more affordable at about $5,000 to $6,000, but it's still a nice gesture to say, thanks for not messing up. Then there's the Omega Seamaster, and the Gerald Genta AP Royal Oak, and the Cartier Pachat de Cartier Perpetual Calendar, and the Patek Philippe 5035 Annual Calendar. All worth around $103,000. Even his watch collection needs to be more expensive than the used car I own. Greg Norman knows that staying in shape is key to maintaining that shark energy. Even with all his business and golf commitments, Norman still makes time to work out, up to 7 times a week. At his age, you'd think he'd be slowing down. But no, he's in the gym more than some of us are on a good week. Norman often trains with a combination of weightlifting, cardio, and flexibility exercises. He's known to do resistance training to maintain strength, as well as functional workouts that mimic the physical demands of golf and other athletic pursuits. But according to him, going to the gym is not the only way to keep a healthy life. What you take in also matters. Greg's diet is like a masterclass in eating like a champion, without the drama. After the heavy workout, he fuels up with a protein shake because, let's be real, muscles aren't going to recover themselves. Breakfast? Oh, just some steak and eggs with honey. No sugar for him in the AM. He's not about those sugar highs and crashes. Who needs them? For lunch, it's the classic salad, every single day. Are you questioning your life choices yet? There yet? And then there's dinner. Well, Greg just casually flips open a cookbook by Donna Hay, an Australian chef, and picks a random page. Because when you've got the world's culinary options at your fingertips, why not? Did you forget he had a 5-star kitchen at his home? The man keeps the healthy lifestyle my parents insisted on. I can't even get broccoli down my throat without drama. Oh, and don't forget about white carbs. White rice? No thanks. White bread? Pass. White potatoes? Seriously, who are we? Living in the 1980s. He's on a first-name basis with Wagyu steak, which he treats himself to once every 2 weeks. Because balance, right? He doesn't even go near soda. Like, ever. You know why? Headaches. He figured out it wasn't the golf that was causing them. Turns out it was all the sugary sodas. So he traded them in for over 100 ounces of water daily. So if you want a luxury that's as high quality as Greg's game, maybe start with your health. It's time to ditch the junk and aim for a little more Wagyu steak and a lot less. Can I get a refill on that soda? Greg Norman's love life is like a golf game, full of swings, misses, and the occasional hole-in-one. His first marriage to flight attendant Laura Andraschi in 1981 lasted a solid 25 years, which is basically a lifetime in today's relationship standards. They had 2 kids together, but parted ways, with Laura walking away with a cool $105 million. Guess who's not getting that in alimony? Not me, that's for sure. But did Greg give up on love? Of course not. He swung again, this time with tennis legend Chris Evert in 2008. Fast forward 1 year, and separation. I mean, even the world's greatest golfers miss the mark sometimes, right? But don't worry, he didn't let that stop him. Kirsten Kuttner, an interior designer, who captured his heart in 2010. They tied the knot on Necker Island, and they're still happily married today. Apparently, 3rd time's the charm, or maybe it's the private island vibe. Greg Norman's is not only pocketing money and living a lavish life, the guy knows how to stay humble. He has formed a foundation for his charity work, Greg Norman Foundation, the brainchild that focuses on youth education and health. Yes, the guy who's made millions in golf actually cares about, helping others. His foundation offers scholarships, mentorship, and support to underprivileged kids, helping them get a shot at a better life. Maybe it's because he spends more time in the gym than most of us spend scrolling through Instagram. His foundation teams up with the Junior Golf Foundation, Cure Search for Children's Cancer, and the Boys and Girls Club of America. You heard it right. And if that wasn't enough, he's even supporting the Leukemia Foundation in schools in Australia to promote education and sports. Greg has finally realized that maybe 13 companies and a couple of multi-million-dollar properties are a bit much. So he's cutting down to 5 or 6 businesses and selling off his $77 million Florida estate and $55 million Colorado ranch. I bet cutting down means another mansion with 10 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms. But hey, I hope he finds the balance he's looking for. Now here's a thought. If you had a fraction of his success, what would you do with it? Let us know in the comments.